Hey, what's going on guys? Today we are doing episode 21 of the Fortnite Mythbusters. In today's episode, we are going over a few myths that contain the brand new jetpack item as well as multiple others that were highly requested. As always, if you guys have any myth you would like me to test out in the next or future episodes, make sure to comment it down below and I will try to do as many as I can. Before you get into today's video, comment down the highest amount of kills you have gotten in one single game. For me, I'm going to have to say I believe it was a 22 kill game in squads. That game, I remember it was really insane. Also guys, I'm about to draw the 2000 V-Bucks giveaway. If you want to enter, all what you have to do is subscribe, turn on post notifications, and comment your console down below. Make sure to be active on future videos to know if you win or not. Anyways guys, without further ado, let's get right on in to today's video. To begin, the first myth is, are you able to land on the disco that hovers over your head when you're boogie bombed? I'm sure the majority of you guys watching this video right now, you have been boogie bombed in Fortnite at least once in your whole entire gameplay time. When you are boogie bombed and you aren't dodging bullets, if you look up above you, there's actually a little disco ball. So the main question was, are you able to stand on top of that disco ball or will you just go straight through it? In game, when I boogie bombed my friend to try and land on the disco above him, I just went straight through it and I landed on top of his player's head. Now I assume if you are able to somehow stack on top of him, it will look like you are standing on the ball itself, but other than that, you are not able to land on the disco ball, sadly. I would love to see that you are able to, just because of how cool it would be to like maybe land and ride on top of your teammate for a good few seconds, maybe boogie bomb him, land on top of him, and pull off like a cool sniper kill. That would be something to see. The next myth was, are you able to carry multiple jetpacks at once? Now finding one jetpack in game is pretty rare in my opinion. I've hardly found any, but with this brand new game mode, you can find them all over the place, so this was the perfect way to test this out. Sadly, in game, you are not able to carry multiple jetpacks. Even if your inventory has open slots, the jetpack will just swap out for the other one to kind of refuel it or just get rid of fuel. I was hoping this would work because imagine carrying like 3 or 4 jetpacks, you are flying and then you swap to the other one once you run out of fuel. That would be pretty cool. It would be like backup tanks. But sadly, you are not able to carry multiple jetpacks in your inventory slot. I can kind of see why, because it is on your back, and where else would you store it on your player? In my opinion, I think the jetpack is alright. I mean, there's times I hate it, there's sometimes I like it, but if they do end up keeping it, even though they did say it was limited, there would be one thing I would want them to change, and that would be to add like a button so you don't just randomly fly up in the air when you are jumping. So for example, if you press like J on your keyboard, it will disable fly for the jetpack until you press it once again. It would be kind of like an on and off switch. That would definitely make the gameplay for the jetpack a lot easier for a lot of us. Now the next myth was, if you jump from a super high height, so like from the top, the sky build limit for example, and you jump down and use up all of your jetpack fuel in the air, the timer till it runs out, will it have time to recharge while you are falling down so you could save you from falling to your death? This was actually a really interesting myth because whenever we have the jetpack, we always fly, then we do end up realizing that we will run out of time in the air. That was kind of their way of making it not as overpowered. So let's say you are having a massive build battle, you end up getting to the sky limit and you are flying and hovering over the guy, then you realize that the timer ran out for the jetpack. If you're lucky enough, you will actually have time before you hit the ground for the jetpack to refuel. I thought this was pretty cool and I had no idea about this. If you are super high, you will have enough time for the cooldown to end on the jetpack so you could save yourself from that fall damage. This was by far something that I did not expect. The next myth was, what happens if you're boogie bombed while you have the jetpack? Are you able to fly or will it restrict you? As some of you guys may know already, with the boogie bomb on a launch pad, it will automatically get rid of the boogie bomb effect. As well, the same thing happens when you go into the storm while boogie bombed. The funny thing is, when you are boogie bombed while using the jetpack, you are able to fly around while dancing. I would honestly prefer you not to be able to kind of fly around with the jetpack while boogie bombed, because I mean obviously with the real jetpack, wouldn't you have to use like your hands or something to control like the fuel or something? I don't know. Are there even real jetpacks in real life except those water ones? The next myth is, do hitboxes change when you are using emotes or dancing? Now, as some of you guys may know, there are a ton of games with absolutely terrible hitboxes, and it seems as if some developers just don't even care. They just throw like a rectangle box on the player. They don't even care about the shape of the player. In Fortnite, what is actually crazy, when you are dancing, it does change your hitbox, and it seems like the hitboxes are pretty spot on in Fortnite. For some of these dances, for example, the bullets will go straight through their legs, so this means you could use your emotes to actually dodge some bullets if you are lucky enough. I thought this was pretty cool, and it just shows how much more effort the developers really do put into the game. And just keep in mind, every time they add like a new emote or something, that means they had to change the hitboxes around so it'll sync up with the game, so you don't have just kind of like a regular rectangle hitbox. I would definitely love to see someone being shot by a sniper and you could clearly see the bullet go straight past their head while they do the dab emote. If anybody has a clip of that, please send it to me. The next myth is, what happens if a loot llama lands on top of you? This has been a very highly requested myth, and this is honestly one of the hardest ones to do. One, because you cannot control where the loot llamas spawn, and two, you have to beat people to the loot llamas because, I mean, everybody wants them. They're just stacked with materials. In game, we were actually in the middle of two squads in a giant fight, and we just saw the llama chilling on top of a tree. So we tried it, and what was interesting is that the loot llama kind of floated on top of wherever it landed. So since I was crouched down, the llama landed on top of my head and just floated there even when I moved away from it. I thought this was pretty cool, and this is definitely one of the hardest ones to do just because loot llamas are rare overall. Only 3 of them spawn per game. The last myth is, are you able to walk on the water surrounding the map after you win a game? A while back, I actually did this exact same myth, but it was worded differently. Basically, it was what happens when you jump off the side of the map after winning a game. After you win a match and you jump off the edge of the map, sadly, you will not be able to walk on the water, but rather than that, you do end up dying. Of course, it still does give you the win, but I have no clue if this does count towards your KD. Say you have like a 1 kill win and you do end up dying after jumping off the map. I don't know if it'll count as a death towards your KD or if it is just immune. If anyone wants to sacrifice part of their KD to test this out for me, feel free to do so. Anyways guys, that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, make sure to leave a like and also subscribe if you're new to the channel. Make sure to comment down any myth you would like me to test in the next or future episodes, and I will see you guys next time.